What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. What's up, Justin? What's up, Kopki? Camera a bit blurry there. What's up, everybody? Starting a little bit earlier than yesterday. Maybe the glasses need a wipe. No, I actually just wiped the glasses. This is the glasses wipe I used for the camera. Hey, Batium, what's up? Long time. Okay, what's up? Danny. Okay, so yesterday, same story. Like, I took a trade before the stream, and I'm just gonna go over this trade. So I don't really like to take trades pre-New York, but I saw here on the hour that we had this breakout below 1931. So we had a closure below 1931, basically that London open candle, and then London session being London session, you broke back into the range, and then that next not next hourly candle, but coming into pre-New York, you had the closure back below that area, and I thought, okay, this looks this looks all right. We got a lot of volume on that candle. Keep in mind, yesterday's candle closed bearish as well. We were breaking yesterday's lows. DXY here, we were also moving nice and bullish throughout the day. So I gave it a shot. Um, I think it's quite insightful to just break down this trade idea, because this is very much what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some higher time frame confirmations. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm looking for basically like higher time frame confirmations, and then pullbacks on the lower time frame. So that hour candle closed right about 1930.8, pulled back to retest this, basically this range on the 5 minute. I saw us respecting that area and I got in. I was also using the 1 minute here, so we were just pushing up into that zone, deeper into that zone. A lot of volume on that 1 minute. Took it on the break of the previous 5 minute lows. Sometimes you do get moves pre-New York. I don't love pre-New York, but sometimes it's worth it. But this should be pretty plain sailing for the rest of the session. Um, Now that we've had this breakout, now that we have this nice clean direction, volume is present, all you need to see is a pullback. So we've tapped into this 25 level, which was my initial target for those sells, but that's all right. If we could get a pullback and respect 1930, could even pull back to 1931.5. But if we could get a nice pullback, then we're looking to come back down into these lows that we formed. And if you can re-break this daily low at 23.8, we're looking to come down to 1920 today. Yeah, 1920 is the next weekly level there, 19.5. So that's your next weekly level. We just broke last week's lows as well. So with volume, like I say, if we can re-break this low, we should get a nice push. Now, I'm not a fan of uh, these entries on the break of the lows. I would rather get some sort of pullback. Resistance formed on the 5. at a level that makes sense to me, and then be looking for those sells. So you've had a nice pullback here at COMEX, COMEX open, grabbing a little bit of liquidity. Just challenging, if we don't pull back into 1930, you're not really retesting any sort of structure. Because what I could see is that if we, if we're not breaking the lows by the new 4-hour candle, the new 4-hour could pull back up to 1930. That could be a top wick, and then you're getting those sell ideas coming into NYSE. So ideal, I would really like to see something like that. Looking to target these lows. If you're breaking the lows, looking to have runners down to 1920. DXY is moving up into these highs, so very interesting and sensitive area as well there on the dollar. Keep in mind, this was a rejection last week with NFP. So, coming into this area, it could act as a rejection again. But like I say, based off the daily, based off the volume you're seeing right now, it looks like we have a high probability to still get some sort of setup for sells. But we'll need to see. This 30 minutes about to close. Yeah, if that next 30 could pull up to 1930, that'll be great. 15 looks like it will close bullish. 5 is not looking bad. You've got a pullback here at COMEX, like I say, and then this 5-minute is giving you a nice confirmation. I won't lie. Hey, Ankit, how's it going? So this is basically an ideal setup on the 5, but to me, you're not retesting any sort of level of interest that I'm looking at or that I've identified. I guess here on the weekly, there's a level right here from earlier in the year. But I don't want to be grasping at straws and just saying, okay, this looks like a level. I would like us to come and retest the lows of this range on 1930. I think safest, more aggressive entries would be on the break of that low. But like I say, I want to see that pullback. You might not pull back all the way to 30, but yeah, I'm going to wait here. Even if I miss out on, if we do get breaks below 1925, I'm not too eager for such aggressive entries, but if we do get a break below there, get a push, and then we get a nice retest of 25 at NYSE Open, I can look for, maybe 50 pips coming down into 1920. Okay, guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back now. Got news today? I don't think so, eh? Nothing major. CPI on Thursday. It's just nice to see that we are out of that range. We had this range last week, and then price was just sitting in the same area, very choppy. So we had a nice breakout, nice clear volume. So looking like a decent session, yeah. Looks like we'll also start to get that pullback we're looking for. Hey, good stuff, good stuff. Nice pullback. Crazy though. I mean, the hourly's flipped back bullish. So we do need to just be very selective here, waiting for the right confirmations. Because I mean, if this hourly candle ends up closing bullish, that's an issue. But if we get the confirmations on the 5, I would take it before the hour close. But this is looking like it may be a rejection from this 25 level. Nice reaction there to 1930. Lots of volume, lots of volume. I think what it might be wise to do here is wait for the 15-minute candle close. This current 5 is very bullish. I would need to see a weak candle on the 5 minutes, preferably a bearish candle, and then that new 15-minute might wick up into this 30 or even 31.5, and then looking to possibly get in on that new 30 minutes. But so far, perfect pullback into 1930. Nice reaction. In fact, this 30-minute, if it flips, breaks its own low, you might start to push. But this stop is quite big. I don't think that's necessary when you can scale in and get much tighter stops. So, you know, if the stop is like 40 pips, I'm not too interested. But my idea here was to basically take these cells back down into the lows that we formed there from that initial push, and then, like I say, potentially have runners. So that 1 minute candle is not really enough of a confirmation for me. It's tapped into that 1930 level as planned, but it would be very aggressive to take those positions. Yeah, I'm gonna be patient here. Wait for the 15. So if this 5 is closing nice and bullish, bearish like this, excuse me, and then the next 15 wicks up again, I can be a little bit more aggressive with entries, maybe scaling in. So looking for possibly something like a double top on the 1 minute there at 1930. But based off of my levels here, I want to be getting in, you know, within like 20 pips of this key level 1930. So, like I say, stops being so big, it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think it's necessary. So, just need to be patient for price to actually set up and give you those tighter stops. You know, at the end of the day, risk comes first. How much are you risking? 30-minute looks nice. How's everybody doing today? Anybody take any trades? Anybody in trades? Took a sell at 1930, exit 1925. Beautiful. Nice. I was in a little bit um, higher, but I didn't hold. I don't. I'm not a fan of holding through New York Open. Um, I actually had like a rule for myself that I said I'm not going to take trades pre-New York. But you know what? We do get moves pre-New York. You just need to manage aggressively. So that's what I did today. Could be aggressive here with this 15-minute close. We are right at this 25 level. Um, but this 15, yeah, this previous 15 closing bullish, this essentially was a support. So this next 15 closing bearish is basically invalidating that support once we break the lows. But now you're looking at more of like a, I would say like a breakout or impulse entry idea, which is a little bit more aggressive. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe if we could get a 5-minute closing below 25. Also 15 minutes till the 4-hour candle close. But you got a lot of volume. So like I say, if we break below 25, I don't think that we're lacking the volume to move to 20. Depending on how steep the top wick for this 5-minute is, I could even look at a idea here with the break of the previous 5-minute and 15-minute low with a very tight stop, anticipating that we break this low here at 23.8. So it would look something like that. Might start to get trickier, because you'll notice that basically the lower time frames are starting to range. This is actually a bit of a tough one. Also got 10 minutes to the 4-hour candle close, so you could always wait for that. Tapped into 1925 here. Looks like the 5 will close bullish, so you are just ranging now. Just gonna wait for the 4-hour. I like what the 15 has done. I still think a break of that previous 15-minute low might give you a push, but it's quite tricky coming into the 4-hour candle close. I'd rather wait here. It's not really as clean as I would have liked to have seen on the 5, but below 25, this 1925 level, with this volume, we are looking clean to drive down here. To 1920. Nah, no more London session. Fuck that shit. London sessions for beginners. Ratings. London's too slow. The other thing is, I only really started focusing only on gold a couple months ago. And since that change, cutting out GJ, only trading gold and trading London session, it's like, it has nice moves. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the stream record for London session over the last 2 years was great. I mean, it was better than most of the streamers doing New York, and that says a lot. But I mean, the volume on gold in New York is just unmatched. You know, I would catch like a 60 pip move in London and think this is the move for the day. New York session would pull back 100 pips and then move in line with that London session move for like 200 pips. It's just mad. It just dwarfs everything that happens in London. Even yesterday was pretty much like standard New York session. I mean, Asian session, you were just steady moving down. London, you ranged. And then from Comex, you pulled back 80 pips and then dropped 100 pips. And I mean, there was nothing special that happened yesterday. It was just New York session. Yeah, this 5 might give you a push here. Next 5, should I say. It's last 5 of the 4 hour. If we close below 25, I'm going to give it a shot. Chat, do what you want. I'm not keeping record or anything anymore. So, you know, these are just my trades. You can come in, take from it what you want. But yeah, I'm gonna bite the bullet here and go for it. If we close below 1925, it is risky. Last 5 minutes of the 4 hour, but I mean, it's my money at the end of the day. And if you pull the trigger, it's your money. So, but keep in mind, I'll be very aggressive with my management here. Because I really want that push coming into the last 5 minutes and like the first couple minutes of the new 4 hour. That's basically what I'm anticipating here. Stops will be relatively tight. It didn't actually close below 25. Now I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. You've arguably closed below this support, but yeah, I wanted to see us actually close below 25. It's like a couple pips off, but it was a riskier trade idea, so I'll leave it alone. If it pushes, it pushes. New 4 hours should then give us a pullback possibly. So 4 hour candle coming to a close. Let's zoom out. Just get a bird's eye view of what's going on. Nice, very strong bearish 4 hour candle closure. You're sitting right at this 25 level where we saw rejections on Friday last week. So still need to keep that in mind. Still need to just be aware of that. 4 hour here below 1925, you got clean traffic down to 1920. Possibly even runners down to like 1915. New 4 hour might just give you a push. I mean, it's lining up very nicely. People should have their main strategy and use streams as an extra confirmation. My belief with streams is that it's a it's an amazing way to learn. If you're coming in as a beginner, you don't know where to start necessarily. So to see someone who's doing it consistently, making a living from it, just to see their perspective, is quite powerful. But one of the other things is guys come into the stream and they're coming for the trades. They're not coming for the lessons. What I used to do and how I feel I benefited so much from streams. I watched Raj's streams, and what I would do is I was at work when he went live, so I would go home and I would watch back the live stream from the day. Is there anyone in the chat who does that or who has done that? You know, that's gonna show your level of commitment. To watch a live stream back, I know not many people do it, but there's a lot to learn. Because also if you're watching it back, you're there purely to learn. You know, you can't retake the trade. The trade is gone. But if you're coming in and you're watching it live, your mind is so focused on the trade that is going to be taken. And you know, when you're in a trade, you don't any um you don't get any smarter when you're in a trade. You focused on that particular trade in that moment. You're worried about how much money you make, how much money you're gonna lose, whatever the story. You're not focused on the lesson. And if you knew that's what, then your focus is just in the wrong place. $19.30.5. That support from London session. To come up and retest that level, that'll be beautiful. I could then take some very aggressive entries if we could just tap into that level, see some signs of rejection. But yeah, your 4 hour closed very bearish here. We're sitting right at this 25 level. You closed above 25. But I mean, if you break the previous 4 hour low, you may just push. Breaking previous 30-minute lows, I don't like it. No top wick on the new 4 hour. NYSE is in 30 minutes as well, so probably wait for that. The one thing I don't like is that volume has actually died out here. This 1925 is going to be trouble. Here goes the push. So you were hanging around in that area for a bit, then got a top wick on the 4 hour. Baby top wick, but I suppose it was all you needed. If you close below 25 now, next 5 then breaks the low. You may see that continuation. Looks like it might have even just faked out on that low. Anyone who sell stops there, impatient on the new 4 hour, might get clapped here. And you know what, that's kind of typical of gold. You know, like, I know that with my approach and the way we traded in New York sometimes, I personally always like to wait for NYSE on the new 4 hour. But you know, based off the 4 hour candle, it makes sense here out once you break the low to get a push. But being so early in the 4 hour, you need to be patient. Even if you were just waiting for a bearish 5 minute close below 1925, it would have saved you from all that drawdown. If you just impulsed on the break of that low, first couple minutes of the 4 hour, you know, it was tough. Maybe you had stops all the way up here, but like I say, you got NYSE coming up, and you really want to sit in 50 pips of drawdown? Hey, what's up, Ned? Ned Flemberg. Flemberg. I think now if you break those lows, you might get a push, but hey, it's choppy, 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 choppy. Lovely, Ned. Yeah, I also took a nice trade pre-New York, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. But we had this nice volume and a breakout of that range, so I thought, okay, we look good here for a possible setup at NYSE. I actually wasn't going to stream today. If we were in that range, I wouldn't have streamed. There's no point. $3,000 USD in the bank. Miss Forex charts, hello. I'm back. I'm doing New York now. I'm taking over. Coming to show the New York traders how it's done. Yeah, I know. Made some changes. A lot has actually changed. Um, I mean, overall, my style is very similar to what it was. At the end of the day, it's still just following price action. Hey K, what's up? Hey Siko, what's up? No worries, brother. Good to have you on. Ready to make some bank. He took these cells. That was a nice move down pre-New York. I was in up here, and then um, I added to my position on the break of the lows, but I was out basically here before New York open. I bitched out. A pretty tough area for the dollar. Um, Back at these highs, and then I got this trend line in for what it's worth, which you can see we are reacting to now. And you know, before CPI, you may not have the volume to be breaking above this area on the dollar. And just correlating that with what's going on gold, that 1925 being that rejection zone from NFP, it is tricky. So just going to keep an eye on the DXY. You know, you don't want to look at it too closely, but I mean, if we're getting strong rejections at these highs, it may be difficult for gold to continue moving down um, below 1925. This is what I like to see coming into NYSE though. When you've got some sort of structure from London, maybe some range, which is pretty much standard for London session. So we had a range here through Asian and London. And then this support here at 1930.5, retesting that support on the new 4 hour is very powerful, very powerful. And then you're looking for a reaction on the 5 minutes. I don't like this range here though. It's a little bit ugly. This 15 minute looks like it will close bullish, and then next 15 we'll probably get that push up. Um, and then looking maybe for that candle to close with a smaller body, a nice rejection of 1930, 1930.5, and then NYSE looking for that setup. You get zoom here, and then I can annotate. Ned, what are you doing? Like let's see what happens. Okay, so strong bullish 15-minute candle close. I'm still looking at this as more of a pullback on the 4-hour. Just keep in mind how bearish we closed there on that 4-hour candle. Your daily candle yesterday was bearish. We broke the low. We have filled last week's wick as well and just broken that last week's low. So I believe there's still potential today to even come down into 1920, 1919.5. As long as we respect 1930. Had a sell stop. Good stuff. Anybody else got any trades in? Honestly, may not pull back all the way to 1930. We already had a tap of 1930. So you can see here on the 5, we had basically a minor resistance here at 1928, closed above, breaking that breakout candle low, so looking more like a fake out. I would wait for this candle to close, just because we haven't had the tap of 1930. If it had tapped 1930, I could have been more aggressive. But yeah, if we're closing a bearish engulfing candle on this 5, I don't mind taking something before NYSE. The idea that I was looking for is here. We've had the nice pullback on the new 4 hour. Like I say, basically a fake out here on the 5 minute in this range. And keep in mind, this is a range, so it's not beautiful, but you've got room down to 1925 here to go break even, whatever, however you want to manage your trade. And then I'm looking for price to still break these lows and continue down to 1920. So let's see how this candle closes. It's not looking bad. Got a minute for this candle to do its thing. Stops here are looking like 20 to 25 pips. Ooh, it might just push. Might just push here. Okay, I'm gonna get my finger on the trigger here, so long. So when the next 5 breaks the low of this candle, I'm going to get involved here. Stops above the high for about 25 pips. The steeper the wick on this candle, the better. Doesn't need to be too steep. Okay, it's broken the low on my broker. I'm in. Stop loss above this high, let's call it 1929.4. Targeting 1920 here. Oh, fuck. I added 2 positions here. Shit. Not bad. Going full margin today. Profit. Double loss as well. Nope, no trades on now. Expecting to push to 1935, then down to 1920. That's fine. That is fine. Don't really want to see this 5 close bullish. And if it does, better close very weak bullish and the next 5 breaks the low. Already got 2 minutes here, let's see. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, just into the trade now. You just missed us waiting. Last minute of the five. Yeah, ideal to see this one closing bearish. Yeah, there we go. Breaking the low. Let's push. 5 minutes to go for NYC as well, so just need to be careful. Close bearish. Yeah, I don't mind what's going on with the 1 minute. Your 5 minute just closed a doji there. So it would be ideal here to see the 5 minute low being broken. And if we could close below 1925 at NYSE, man, you're looking amazing. Normally I'm looking for a pullback at NYSE, but sometimes that pullback comes in earlier in the 4 hour. And that was all I really wanted to see, a pullback and then a a setup that made sense on the 5 minute. So like I said, this was a fake out, nice bearish candle showing that that bearish volume is coming back into the mix here after a pullback on that new 4 hour. I don't think we need to pull back any deeper at NYSE. I'm happy with that pullback. So hence I got involved here before NYSE. It's not always going to be right at NYSE that I take trades after. Sometimes the setup is there before. But overall, this is a range on the 5 minute. So it is tricky. But also just tying this in with the higher time frames. Lots of bearish volume on that previous 4 hour. Your 15 here looks like it'll close bearish at least. It'll be good to enter or set a sell stop. Maybe if you're not in now, maybe wait for NYC. The 15-minute setup, not too bad. It's trickier being so close to 1925 though. Imagine. If this candle closes below 1925 and then we break these lows, expect this. Come on. 1925, boys, let's go. 30-minute also looks like it'll flip bearish here. There we go. If you want to be super aggressive with management, as you come into 1925, you can bring your stop in, maybe above these 5-minute highs, maybe break even. And that's completely up to you. Just want to see what's going to happen, yeah. But yeah, back at this 1925 level, you need to be very careful here. But if we can close below 1925, you are good as gold. Let's go gold. If we don't close below, it's going to be an issue. Might be an issue. I mean, the 15-minute looks clean. Clean. Fuck. Looks good. Could have runners down here to 1915 even. As discussed, that clean traffic on the 4-hour. But let's see this drop. We got NYC closing below 1925, breaking the low. There we go, baby. There we go. We need to break these lows. Once you break those lows, you should get a very nice quick push. I'm going to move my stop loss to break even because on the 5-minute here, this was essentially a breakout candle and we've broken that low. So yeah, I'm going to move my stops to break even. It's one of the most difficult things to bring myself to do. I hate going break even. But I think it makes a lot of sense here. You don't want to pull back at this point. Draw a few more times, maybe it'll go down quickly. Yeah, we at that low. Okay, let's get that push. And this should be like taking candy from a baby, surely. Come on. Come on. Quick 30 pips gold. I'm gonna close 50% here. Should I? No, I'm gonna give it a second. Give it a second. Oh. Tim Hogan. That's a new name. What's up, Tim? Welcome to the London session live stream. New York is the new London. Yeah. 5-minute power, gents. 5 minutes is so good. I've got my thing on the trigger to close half at any point. Just gonna be very I would have liked to actually have seen more volume on the break of this low. So I'm gonna get ready to close half depending on what's gonna go on here on the 1 minute. I would like to see the 5 actually closing below this 23.8 level. Come on, gold. Out for 32 pips. Lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna close 50% here. Yeah, so I closed out like 29 pips, 26, 27 pips. Like I say, I wanted to see a bit more volume on the break of those lows. I really did. In this time, you are expecting a nice push. So when you don't push, you need to be very careful. NYSE also, you're generally getting nice volume, but when you get that push at NYSE, it's tough. You don't always get the follow through. If you get a pullback at NYSE, then you get your setup, then you're getting a nice follow through. But that push right at NYSE, it's tough. So yeah, pulling back here. Closed out the majority of my position. Stops at break even. Had a nice push, nice quick easy move. Tapping 25. Yeah, that 5 minute is done for. If you are in, guys, really, stops at break even is not a bad idea. You got to be quick in New York though, and you got to be very decisive. Also, trading these lower time frames, you need to be extremely decisive. There's no umming and ahhing. You got to have your plan, stick to it, and also just when you see price reacting to level, react. If you're umming and ahhing about a trade idea, walk away, man. Just walk away. I hate that. Yeah, 5 is chalked. Close back above 25 here, bullish, more of a rejection candle. So at this point, I'm just holding on to hope. But like I say, stops at break even. I've secured partials already. Your 30 minutes still looks decent. 15 looks good. But that reaction after breaking those lows, closing back above 25, I don't like it. And how was your chicken? How was your worst chicken, bro? Oh, shit. Break even coming up. Ooh, am I gonna survive? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm out. $1. Gents. Not bad. Took what I needed. Um, didn't really get the follow through I wanted, but happy with how I reacted there to those lows. Didn't get the push that I wanted, so secured some. And looks like you're just back in a range, so it might be choppy for the rest of the session again. This 25 level, like I say, it's gonna be a problem. Big problem. He had a nice move pre-New York and coming into New York Open. That was basically the move for the session, I think. The fact that you're not getting a continuation now after NYSE is very tough. Maybe you pull back into 1930 again. Maybe retest this support from London session 1930.5. But at that point, man, I don't want to be taking any more trades. Looks disgusting on the 15. 5 minute also looks disgusting right now. So guys, that's gonna be me. Not bad. Thought process behind the entry. Yeah, I went through everything already, but really just going based off of what is going on the higher time frames. So based off the daily we saw yesterday was bearish, closed. We broke yesterday's low, and then the idea was to, I mean, on the 4 hour here we had clean traffic down to like 1920, even 1915. So I was looking for some sort of continuation, and then the idea was just wait for a pullback on the new 4 hour. So this 4 hour gave you confirmation for those sells, and then waited on the 5 minute there to give a pullback. And like I say, just a setup that makes sense. It's not always going to be perfect, but essentially we had this pullback from the beginning of the 4 hour, and then like I say, this was a 5 minute range here, and then you basically had a fake out. So this was your breakout candle on the 5 minute, right? So this bullish candle here was the breakout candle, and then once we broke that candle's low, you could have considered this a fake out already. I really wanted us to tap into 1930, which you didn't get, so I waited for this candle to close, and I said if we close bearish engulfing, then I'm going to give it a shot here. Because normally I'd be waiting for a pullback at NYSE, but sometimes that pullback comes in before. So I was expecting at that point that we don't really need much of a pullback at NYSE, and yeah, like I say, got in there on the break of that bearish 5 minute low. Got a little bit of a push before NYSE, and then yeah, NYSE actually did give you a pullback here. So if you are getting a bearish 5 minute closing back below 25 now after NYSE, same ideas on the table here. But you want to stay out of this range. You really don't want to fight that. Made a few chickens today on the sell before New York. Lovely. Bro, you better share some chicken. But this keyboard if it goes back to that range. Now, you know what? It is frustrating. It is frustrating when price is in a range, but the best thing you can do is at that point actually just stay out and remind yourself that the market's going to be there tomorrow, and even if it's not moving tomorrow, it's eventually going to give you moves again. You know, last week NFP, leading up to NFP, we had the same story where gold was just very rangy. I mean, that Thursday before NFP was just disgusting. You know, this is very challenging. Very, very tricky to be trading this. So stay out. I mean, NFP, it wasn't amazing. Didn't give the cleanest moves, but there were ideas here. It's tough. You went straight into a range after that. But I mean, it's Friday. NFP Fridays is tricky. But ever since we've been in a range, basically, getting little moves here and there. But I think after the inflation report on Thursday, things should start to clear up a little bit at least. Maybe we get some cleaner direction. Right now, it's pretty tough. Daily looks very bearish, but It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Because if you're not going to have the volume to break below this 25, that rejection from NFP, you could very well just be ranging here between like 25 and 45. Damn it. Annotator's gone. So yeah, if you're not breaking below 25 here, then I mean, you could pull back all the way to 46 and just be in this range. Not ideal, but anyway. We'll see what happens. Take it day by day. Also, nice thing with, you know, since I would say quite new to trading New York session, what I do like is that you don't necessarily always need the cleanest direction on the higher time frame. As long as volume is present and um, you know, price action isn't dog shit like this, you can still catch nice moves on the 5 minute in New York. But yeah, that's tough. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. Not much more I can do here. I was waiting for the 15-minute close, but you've closed bullish back above 25. I don't like it. If you come and close back below 25, maybe we get that continuation down to 20, but yeah, I'm done. Nice pullback here at NYC, not bad. Have you ever watched that app CME Group? Why does CME Group sound familiar? I won't lie, I like what this is doing now. Yeah, so that was basically your pullback at NYSE, but it's just tough because it was in this range. It's nice when NYSE pulls back to some sort of level that makes sense. That didn't really make sense to me. Pulled back like halfway in the range and then. But if that is your resistance on the 5 minutes closing below 25, I would expect the next 5 minutes to start driving down here. You might get a nice push. Maybe we wait for the 5 minute close. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna be back before the 5 minute close and we'll see what happens. If it pushes now, it's done. A safer idea is if we do break this low right here. The issue with that for me is just your risk to reward is not really making complete sense. If you're targeting 1920, the trade's going to look something like this. I don't like that. So what I would look to do is if this 5 closed below 25, I want the next 5 then to get a nice top wick and then break the low there. And then, you're at least looking at like maybe a 1 to 2. But I might just paper trade this idea if it does close below 25 because I wanted to call it a day, to be honest. I don't want to get caught in a trap of just over trading, I found on the 5 minute you can I can take more trades than I would on like a 30 minute because it's presenting more opportunities, but you need to manage your emotions and you need to have um, an extreme amount of discipline. So yeah, we rejected there. Yeah, fucked up range. Caught the sells pre-New York. Lovely, well done. That is the move. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Not a bad trade yet. Nearly 30 pips. Yeah, decent. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not tomorrow, just because we have CPR on Thursday, I might not stream tomorrow. But CPR I'll definitely stream. But like I say, if price is in a range, I'm not gonna come sit here and waste everybody's time. You know. The link for the Discord is in the video description. It should be. Otherwise in the channel. I haven't been active on the Discord, but keep an eye out there. I'll send a link for the streams to that channel, and then also, I'll start to give some market updates and that kind of thing again. For instance, tomorrow if it's looking rangy, I'll let you guys know in the Discord. Hey, personally, I'm probably not going to trade today. Market conditions are not great, and so on and so on. Waiting for CPR, and then you guys can do with that information what you want. Um, I'm also putting a lot of stuff on my Instagram stories and that. So if you guys want to check that out, I think my Instagram link is also in the video description. So just stay up to date with that, guys. Trying to share some insight and share some knowledge and value. I stopped the memberships and I enjoy doing the stream and that for free, to be honest. Like no obligations. I just want to enjoy what I do, and I enjoy just putting out this value for free. The community, the free community, you guys are awesome. I appreciate the support. Everyone coming from London session, I appreciate you guys. It's nice to be back. So yeah, let's kill it this week. CPR should be good.